Hi, I'm Megan. I'm a recipe and mom blogger. And last month on Pinterest, I got just over 34,000 outbound clicks, which is great. That's what I care about since the only way that I am monetizing right now is through ads on my website. And I'm partnered with Mediavine. So that is my ultimate goal with Pinterest, is to get people to click over to my website. I really don't care about followers or too much else in Pinterest other than those clicks. So I've shared with you guys my strategy on how I'm doing this before. I will link that video down below in the caption, but I'm switching things up a little bit, and I've been trying this new method for the last 2 weeks and I feel comfortable with what I'm doing. So I'm gonna get on the computer today and share with you guys my new strategy and basically why I think this should hopefully help increase those outbound clicks even more. I'm looking to hopefully double it with this new method. So just a really quick note before I get on the computer, I wanted to mention that I'm using Tailwind, which is just a Pinterest scheduler, as part of this new strategy. So I am not giving up on my old strategy. I want to make that clear. Something about what I was doing is working. My numbers are great. I get about half of my traffic from Pinterest, half of it from Google. I'm happy with where it's at, but I want it to grow faster. It's been kind of staying right around 30,000 outbound clicks for months now. And I want to see what I can do to get that number up faster. So I'm going to keep doing what I was doing. Go look at that video. I wasn't using a scheduler. I wasn't using Tailwind. I was just pinning one image with each new post, which was only like every 1 to 2 weeks, using that Pinterest save extension. But I'm gonna still use it because something about that way was working. Where I'm at with my clicks is, my outbound clicks is still good. I'm not gonna just ditch that method. I'm just adding on to it. I'm gonna make more new pins for each post, and I'm gonna use Tailwind to schedule them. So let me jump on here and finally show you step by step what I'm doing. So here's my newest post. I'm gonna walk you guys through my pinning method. I scroll down all the way to the bottom because after my recipe card is where I have an image that I designed specifically for Pinterest with, the text and style that works best on Pinterest. So here it is, and this is brand new. I haven't pinned it yet. So my very first pin for a brand new post, this is how I do it. I come over to the post directly. When I'm hovering on the image, you'll see this little save button. And then when I hover over that, a little drop down pops up with all of my boards on it. So this step is really important. Again, I go over more details on this strategy in the video that I have in the caption, but I just want to share with you that I'm still doing it. My first step is still this. And in case you don't know this already, the very first board that you save that new pin to is the most important. And you want it to be a board that relates the most to what you're sharing. So I want to pick a board that, these muffins will do the best on. So it's kind of hard for me. I have there's 2 that I can't decide. I'm going to go with healthy recipes for kids. And hit save. Now you'll see if I click over to my Pinterest and refresh, that will be my newest pin that I created right here. So that's how I am doing my very first pin. I'm still saving it directly from my directly from my website using that extension button. So what I'm adding to my strategy, before, that's where I would end it. I would pin it to a few group boards and call it a day. Now, after I do that, I go into Canva. Sometimes I have this done before, but I basically design 3 to 4 images for that post. So before I was just doing 1, but this really isn't that much more time consuming. And again, like I said, I'm really wanting to grow my traffic a little bit faster. So I need to switch up what I'm doing. And I just have these templates that I did in Canva, so I can kind of switch these up for each post, just plug in new photos, switch the text. But here you'll see that I made 3 brand new Pinterest images for this blog post, which again is something brand new for me. I was only doing 1 before. So here I've already created these, designed them the way I like, and saved them to my computer. Once I have them saved to the computer, then I head over to Tailwind. This is a look at the dashboard. But over here on the left are the options that we have to work with. So I am going to use the pin scheduler here at the top. And this is where I can upload the pins that I already made. So my first step right now is this. I go ahead and schedule those other new images that I created for the new post. So just click upload pins. I am going to go with this second one and hit open. And it takes a second to just pull all the information. It loaded. Now we're going to hit create pins. And just a quick note, this is the manual way of creating pins in Tailwind. I'll show you in a second a different way where you can use their tools to generate pins. However, I'm picky. I'm really, really picky about the style of mine, so I'm doing it a little bit more manually. Here is where it pulled my image that I created on my own. And down here is where I can add the pin title, description, link, and the boards that I'm going to pin it to. So I went ahead and plugged in a title, a pin description, which a lot of times for recipes, I just use the one on my recipe card because it's easiest, and a link to the website where you want your pin to link to. And just, a little tip, you can easily use like AI to help you with your pin description here or your titles. Sometimes I'll do that, but sometimes that just takes too long. I just use, stuff. I pull it directly from my post. Okay, so you got that stuff. And the last thing you need to do is put the boards in here that you want to pin it to. Now, the really cool thing about Tailwind is I can schedule this pin to be uploaded to 10 different boards, and I can schedule out the timing, the spacing in between, and this is how you do that. So again, this is going to be a brand new pin. Pinterest is going to consider this brand new since it's the first time this image is going into Pinterest. So that very first board that I pick here is just like what I was saying earlier. It's the most important one. So I want to pick one that relates the closest to this board. So the last one I used healthy recipes for kids. Here I'm going to try my dessert recipes board. It's kind of hard. These muffins are like a snack. They could be breakfast. They could be dessert. I don't even know. So we'll try dessert recipes with this pin. And now after that, all these boards that I put in right here are going to be considered repins. So I have a whole bunch. I have a bunch of group boards that I use. I have a video on that too. If you're curious about group boards, how to join them, how to use them, I'll try to link that in the description here too. So right here is where I am just going to add all the boards that I want this pin to go to. So now I've put in all of the different boards here that I want this pin to go to. Right here, I'm going to click on this. It's automatically set up to space it, but I'm going to turn that off because I want to show you guys what the scheduler looks like. So it's going to automatically fill in the next open time on my my scheduler. Basically, it's a schedule that I have that you can set up of how many pins you want to go out each day and what time. So since I'm just making a new pin for this post today, I don't want to do another brand new one for it in the same day. So I'm going to space this out. I'm going to see what I have for maybe, let's see, a little more than a week out. I'm going to try Monday. And these are the open time slots that I've picked on my own account, basically. So I'm going to set this to go out on the 25th. And up here, this little drop down is where you can set the amount of days that you want it to wait before repinning to the next board. I know a lot of people say to wait a week between repins because you don't want Pinterest to think you're spamming it, but I've basically done what Pinterest considers spamming my whole blogging life. So I like to push the boundaries, I guess you could say. I like doing these every 3 days. That's just what I'm kind of going with based on my own experience and how before I would just repin to like all these different boards back to back, like at the same time, and never got flagged for spamming. So to me, every 3 days seems more than okay. So I'm going to do that. I picked when I first want it to go out, and then every 3 days from the 25th, it's going to repin that pin to the next board that I put up here. So let's go ahead and we are going to hit save. And I'm gonna hit, well, before I hit schedule, I'll scroll down. Over on the right is like my calendar. This is how full it is. So Monday right here, the 25th at 6:21, I believe is when I have this to go. Let's hit schedule. And it should pop over here. Takes a minute. And yep, it's loading right here. Oh, I've never seen this before. Okay, but it's just letting me know that time slot was taken. It put it in the next one, which is fine. It went in the one that I thought it was going in anyways. Okay, so it is right here. And you see, you can hover over it. You can edit this at any point if you want to change the day or any of the information on your pin. But that is now set up to go pin to all of those different boards on its own. Tailwind is now taking over and managing the rest. So my next step would just be to repeat that basically with the next new image that I made in Canva. Hit upload pins, go grab the next new image and schedule it out the same way. However, since I scheduled this one that I just showed you on August 25th, I would probably schedule the next new pin for that same post to go out maybe like a week after. That's kind of what I'm experimenting with, the timing between all of these new pins for the same post. But that's the plan so far. I am manually making at least 3 pins in Canva for each post, and then I'm coming over to Tailwind to help me schedule that out. Now, there is another tool in Tailwind that I'm experimenting with, and it's using their tool to generate pins for some of my older posts. So I'm kind of using it to help as filler to fill in the days where I don't have any new pins going out. I'm using this tool. Again, I don't love the way it designs the pins as much as the ones I make on my own, but I feel like it could be a really good addition to what I'm doing. So, I make those 3 that I like for each post. I go schedule them out right away, but then I can use this tool in Tailwind to kind of just quickly make pins for older posts to just try to get some new traffic to older posts that are still, evergreen content that could still, serve value to people. I will make a whole different video on how to use the Tailwind functions to make your pins because I feel like that could be its own topic. But for now, I wanted to show you what I'm doing right away, which is going and making my own in Canva just because I like my design the best right now. And then going and using Tailwind's function to schedule those out in a more organized manner than how I was doing it before. So since this way kind of follows, some of the more best practices of Pinterest, I'm really hoping for some good results here and an increase in those outbound clicks. So I'll keep you guys posted. I'll let you know how it goes. If you have any questions on what I'm doing or what I talked about in this video, feel free to ask. I love talking to you guys in the comments. Hearing from you helps me keep this channel going because I learn from you just like I hope you're learning from me. So thanks for sticking around. If you're not subscribing, please subscribe, help me out, and I'll see you next time.